It's the Social Drinkers Podcast.
Welcome to the Social Drinkers Podcast. We are the Soulcialites.
Hey,
What's going on,
what's
y'all?
up? What's the deal?
Tonight's topic is going to be a good one. We are going to talk about knowing your worth and how not knowing it leads to needing validation. Do you know your worth and how do you know it? For me, I would have to say I am 70% there. How do I know? Because things that I used to tolerate, I no longer tolerate. But the other 30%, I would have to say, is filled with insecurities, trauma, how I look, people's opinions,
My Lord.
the names I've been called, how I've been treated,
All right.
who doesn't like me, abandonment, rejection, lies, the times I was left feeling I wasn't good enough, and all the things I forgot to mention.
That's right.
Anybody else need the pad and ink pen?
I know I do.
I don't know if you got enough.
No, I think the
know that's
majority.
right.
Excuse me. I think the majority of the of that is I think everybody has pretty much dealt with it in any time of their life. The thing about it is, when you talk about non-validation and invalidation, it don't discriminate. It don't matter if you a woman or a man. That discrimination or just validation, I'm sorry, it comes in all sizes. It comes in all different phases in life. But as far as just knowing your worth and then feeling validated, I honestly believe, of course, this is an ongoing conversation, but I believe as a child, as a father and as a mother, I believe that's where we first get our validation from.
Right.
It's from our parents. So if I want to get biblical with it, which I know I'm gonna go there, is we was born in His image and His likeness. Before we was born, before we was created, He already knew how we was gonna come out. Right. So He pretty much validated us before anybody else's opinion even mattered. But as a father and as a mother, bringing in a child, I believe one of your assignments is to validate that child at a young age, so they won't go out into the streets. They won't go out to their friends to feel validated or feel important.
That's right.
So once you validate that point and validate that child growing up, as they get older, then it's like, no, I don't need too much validation. It's not an arrogant thing. It's just the fact that you walking in who you know.
in who you are.
You
Right.
walking who you are, and you strong enough mentally and physically and emotionally. You are already there to the point where you can, like you don't need a man to validate you to make you feel a certain way. I don't need a woman or a girl to validate me to make me feel some type of way. So that's just how I roll with it. But I know we're gonna keep rolling on that one.
Nice.
Well, I know for me, validation comes with a lot of things because of not only the personal life I choose to see, but like my work life, my career, my profession that I choose to go into, like all those things, they kind of require you to have validation because without that, you're not progressing. I mean, if you're not getting that validation, I mean, you're not getting that money, which means 9 times out of 10, you're about to be terminated.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
You gotta
Right.
work for that validation, and so it's kind of hard. It's very cloudy because it can seep into your personal life, and now you're just wondering all the time, am I good enough?
It's true. Very much so true.
Right.
Does anybody feel like that's something that was instilled in them as a child?
Oh,
Because for me,
yes.
I don't feel like it was instilled in me. So that may be part of the problem. Whereas though now at my age, I'm still working on it. Like I said, I'm 70% there, but I'm putting in the work to be all the way there. But if it was instilled in me as a kid, then I probably would be there, you know?
Because it wasn't more of like, you know, my particular parents saying, you know, I expect 100% this out of you. It was more like, yeah, I prefer you to do this, but if you're not going to go along with that path, it's going to be kind of, am I really going to care what you accomplish with it?
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, you saw I had to go with that.
Right.
Because, yeah, it got real foggy. Like, yeah, I'm doing something great, but if it's not exactly what they wanted, are you going to get that complete validation? You might get a
support that you need.
Yeah, the support. You know.
Did that leave you feeling unvalidated?
I wouldn't say unvalidated because I knew the way how they acted, like after like certain things happened, like when I got awarded a certain thing, like if it wasn't what they wanted but something that they didn't know that they needed, it was more like I got it more from other people because I would hear it back from them rather than hearing it from my parents.
Yeah. So you needed it from outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Anybody else feel like it was instilled in them as a kid?
Yeah, me.
Go ahead, Terry.
You sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think I was born with it.
Oh, okay.
Because I'll go off and that it was kind of knocked once I got into school and you know going through things, and then I had to build it back up. But as a young person, man, you know they used to always say, I bet you if you ask Terry Jr. how to do it, he already know how to do it. He think he know how to do
professor.
it. Yeah. So when I was young, you asked me, Terry, when was the world created? The world was created when I was born.
Ooh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's
He always
the kid I was.
Right.
You know,
He always had that.
I was like, and I would always, when I was a kid, I would always look around at everybody and see everybody talking, and I would always feel like I was the smartest person in the room. You know, I would just look, even when it came to my parents, even though they was smarter than me, but I always just had that kind of confidence. I felt like I can do it. Like, I see someone else do it, and I'd be like, yeah, I know I can do that better. I can kill that. You know, even when I was a kid, I was just that way. Now, I had people that tried to attack my value, how I felt about it, and I'd think about it. And I'd be like, you know, but I never had that problem. You know, I would deal with it, move on. If I'm not valued here, I go where I'm valued. That's how I've been like that since I was a kid. You know? So if everybody want to hang with them, with this dude, I get my own group. You know?
Right.
I don't mix my friends like, you know, like my friends over here. I just, and nobody. My mom, you know, my parents, they gave me validation and stuff like that, but and it could have came from them, but as far as I can remember, I always kind of like, I didn't struggle with that, you know.
And I was going to say that, so even when you go outside and people are telling you something different, you go back in, you're being built back up.
Right.
So imagine
Right.
you're going out and you're being teared down, and then you're going back in. Nobody's building you back up.
Yeah.
It's like Kells said, you come in this world, God is expecting nothing but greatness for you, right?
But
the world is going to give you something different. But that's good that you had somebody building you
I
back
would
up.
notice when I was a kid, kindergarten, you know, someone would knock what I do, but then the next day they're doing exactly.
Oh yeah.
What I was
Oh
doing.
yeah.
So much.
I live
Don't get me started.
What's up with that? You know,
Trendsetter.
so that, and I always said I was the smartest. I always felt like I was the smartest person in the room.
Always professional.
I would look at that and I'd be like, wait a minute. You know, I'll see through things real quick. I've been like that with everything. I always see smoke and mirrors. I'd be like, wait a minute, if he doing this and they doing this, but he said I looked as stupid when I did it, but today you doing this.
Same exact.
Wait a minute. I must be really.
Yeah.
I must got something going on, and I would snap. You know what I'm saying? And my parents, because I really was not the kid to go back to school. If I was picked on in school, my parents was the last people to probably hear about it. But that's the thing, I didn't get picked on in school.
Right.
Most of the kids at school kind of wanted to hang with me a little
Yeah,
bit.
you were popular.
You know, even
we
though I
always
was, I never got picked on in school. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was one of the things. So that thing, I think, what my parents instilled validated me. And like I said, I felt like the world was created when I was born, when I was a little kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not mad at that.
You know, every time
I was like,
Lanisa, I guess you just pull stuff out of us because I wasn't expecting. Like while they're talking, I'm realizing where I needed validation. Like when we was a kid, we always heard, "You're gonna do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthened you. You can do all things."
Right.
So now I realize that now I put it in my kids. But we always heard that, girl, you can do anything. You could be a
Right.
doctor. You could be this. You could be that. But you know what messed me up? In the 90s, saying I wanted to be a model. That just took me for a loop. Going, my mom said, okay, you sure? But it's people not going, everybody ain't going to like the way you look, and everybody not going to like this and that.
Right.
And, yeah, when I went to those certain things, and they was like, your nose too wide, you're not tall enough, your hips too heavy, this and that.
Yeah.
It took me for a loop. So when I got with men, it was, am I good enough? Am I pretty enough? Am I this? And I'm that. And it brought an insecurity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I dealt with that.
Anybody else feel like there's an area that you need? You feel like you're always needing validation?
Yeah. Like,
Because
literally just like
Yeah.
what she was talking about. Like,
yeah.
being a model, an actor, a singer, a dancer, like every single thing about you, mainly pertaining to your body, is going to be judged and talked about. And all you want is that one, you look great. But you don't want it from the person that you know.
Yeah,
You want
no
it from
gonna
a
say,
stranger.
yeah.
Right.
Because
That's like,
it
and social
feels
media
different.
makes it worse, you
Oh,
know. And,
man.
and keep in mind, people gonna
Yeah.
watch this and
And we
they're
didn't have
gonna
that back
judge us. So
Well,
Yeah.
this is
We
a
didn't
lot.
have that
We're
back
being
then.
bold
Everybody
right
was
now.
models, and they were straight up and down.
yeah, we
So
didn't have social
when
media
I walked
then.
in,
Yeah.
I
It
was straight up and down. I
What you
was
gonna wear the
hippie
first day of
and
school?
butt,
And
I had hips and butt, and it was like, oh, she looks
Yeah.
amazing. But
That wasn't in
it's too
then.
heavy. You know
That
what I mean?
wasn't it.
Until Tyra Banks came out, and I was like, oh, fuck it.
no, you used to get teased that you had a mature body, and you used to get teased for that.
I used to be machised
Yeah.
because
You
I
used to
was,
get teased
I had
for that.
busts and hips and stuff, and they used to call me, they go the big titty girl. And I'd be like, I'm so fat. You know,
No,
yeah.
like,
I'm
every
telling
girl
you,
wanted
you
to be
can't
built
wear
like
what they
that.
wear. You know what I mean? So now everybody buying that.
Right.
But when I
keep
was a
in
kid in
mind,
the 90s, that's like, oh, no.
Yeah, no.
even back then, people were probably jealous, but they're not going to say that. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of times, like, why can't I have that? They're not going to
Right.
say that. They're going to say, oh, you look bad for having that.
Yeah.
But when you are young, your mind doesn't process
Yes,
things
like we
the
said
way that
on
we
the
do
last
now.
one.
So you're looking at it as a bad thing. You know, you
That's
would need
why-
a parent to turn it around and say, oh, they're just saying that because they're jealous.
Yeah, and see,
Yeah.
my mom, she was telling me all the time, like, see, and when her friends come over, they would tell me to walk out and go, see, Brittney, come here. And they would turn me, everybody go, you're going to need a gun. So, when you're a kid, you're not realizing that they saying
What they
you
talking
fine,
about.
you know?
Yeah.
But
go ahead
now,
and put-
that's why my girls, I give them that validation and let them know, you're amazing.
Exactly.
Baby, those hips, them thighs, oh, you look good. Because, and that's
Damn,
right.
what anybody else say?
That's right. That's right.
And it's all about wordplay. Like, because for my daughter, even if she does something, and like I may feel like I want to say, oh my goodness, she's so, why would you do something so stupid? I'll say, come on, you're too smart for that. You know, so if people would pay attention to the words that they choose
Exactly.
to speak, I think that would go a long way as well.
Right.
You know something. You know something. My grandfather helped me with something too. He looked, and Mama said the same thing, and that I think that helped me as I got older, because she was like, "You ain't itch
You ain't
until you
shit
make
till you make
something
yourself something."
of
Uncle
something
Joe.
of yourself." Yeah.
Uncle Joe.
So that right there, that put me at like everybody. I'm not 200 yards behind in the 100-yard dash. That let me know everybody's on equal playing field.
Right.
You know, it's like that let me know, okay, well, he got to make something of himself, she got to make something of herself.
But-
We all the same.
but
Ain't
Terry-
nobody's better
But
than
who?
that.
But
to
you
whose
know me.
standard though?
But when they told me that, when I heard it standing next to him, y'all know Uncle Joe said, y'all ain't shit till y'all make yourself something. I looked at him with rebel like, what the What you mean by that?
But to whose standard though?
I was just
Because
that kid.
But
That's all
my
I'm putting
standard,
in.
like it's. I mean, until you make something in yourself, it was like
In your world.
Yeah.
it just that light
Okay,
bulb
so
was
as long
like,
as you
you
feel
know,
like,
you
okay.
show right. It was like
Because if you're not
show
doing
right.
nothing and you ain't being nothing, you ain't.
I mean, but I guess that all comes with, because to me, if I'm content with being, let's say I work at McDonald's and I'm cool with being the best fryer.
Hey,
But hey,
That's what it
you
is.
made
Okay,
yourself
so I just
something.
wanted to get- okay,
You can pay your own
perfect.
bills and you ain't asking nobody.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
now
something.
if I feel certain type of way about it, it means something I need to fix it.
You know, we
Right,
just
okay.
we come
Right.
on my daddy's side.
You know,
On my daddy's side
I
of the
gotta
family,
fix it.
they was straight up and down, and your feelings,
Yeah.
you had to put them. You had to put them behind you.
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly.
No, I asked that question because you can be something totally different based off of somebody else's standards.
Right.
You may be like, okay, for instance, like you cannot tell Jocelyn she is not the best rapper ever.
Yeah.
Right?
I like her.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she doesn't care what anybody say. I feel like everybody should be like that,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Do it
You
like you're
Like
your
she
big
like it,
daddy.
she'll like it because I'm
Do
successful.
it like it's your
And then
big
your
daddy.
people will be in the comments and they'll be
Baby.
like, successful to what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She feels like she is, so that's all that should
That's
matter.
all that matters.
That
What
is somebody,
your level of
Because
success.
not only that, it brings confidence.
right?
Right.
So when you confident within yourself and who you are, then at the end of the day, but that comes with trial and error and maturity.
That's
You gotta be
right.
really mature about having that mentality to the point where it's confidence, but it's not arrogant at the same time. Because you don't want to be arrogant and sit too high,
Right.
And then pride become before destruction. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, so you got to be careful with that. So at the end of the day, it's like, know who you are and be confident and walk in what you and walk
And your
into what
purpose.
you're doing, your purpose. And like you were saying, it's like, man, look, at the end of the day, if I want to work at McDonald's, and if I'm the best person to flip these burgers, I'm gonna flip them till I can't flip them no more.
Right.
So it's like
That's
I'm gonna
right.
flip
And we
it,
don't
and then
have
I'm gonna
that.
be the best flipper in there, regardless of what anybody talk. And that's a good thing too. Is like whatever you're doing, you gotta be able to block out the noise.
Yeah. Be grateful.
You gotta be able to do that, but that comes with, like I said, maturity, and it comes with time. Cause you can't tell a 9-year-old that right now.
No, you can't.
They're not gonna understand that.
Yeah.
But a 30 and 40, even 20, but
Some of them don't get it.
every mentality is different.
That's right.
Everybody's
Every,
different.
every,
I know
every
some
stage
still
of
don't
life
get it.
is different. So I believe that's what that's what I stand on. And like you mentioned about your daughter, about your daughters, Brittney, and your daughter, and it's like with me growing up, I had an issue. Like most of my partners, most of my friends, they all had. I'm gonna be honest with you, they all had like straight teeth. I'm different. I got a gap in my mouth. So it's like growing up, I got teased, I got laughed at, then nobody want to talk. So I had to deal with that growing up. And then going home, you don't really talk to your folks about it from time to time. But as I got older, and the girls was like, oh, a lot of girls like, oh, you different. But as I got older, it's like, you know what, man, bump this. I ain't really say bump this. I said the other word. But it's like, man, I'm going to be me, man. If a woman like my hey, it is what it is.
Facts.
And I don't need nobody to validate. But that took till I was like in my 20s. To feel that way, to feel validated. So
Right.
you had to come to
Yeah.
the sense, not really come to your sense, like, you know what, maybe they ain't for me. If they ain't rocking with me right now, man, don't rock with me later. So now, bam, I'm good. Like the girl I was dating, she loved it. She's like, it's different. It look cute on you. So I took that and rolled with it. And then I'm smiling, I'm doing whatever. And the reason why I bring that up is because I got a 8-year-old daughter that's 99% mine.
Right.
And when I say her it's going she already
Like the
got that
same gap.
little I see it. So I'm already telling her now.
Yeah.
Now, look, you different. You a leader. You got that for a reason. Use it.
Yep.
So it's like, that's where I'm at with that when it comes to feeling validated or getting that sense of security.
Right.
But I was insecure for a long time. Tall, skinny,
Yeah.
with a big head, with a gap. That was laughed upon with me growing up, not knowing. My daddy's side, they all tall and slim.
Right.
All of them. So at the end of the day, like I want to share with y'all, we can't get too caught up in not getting validated from our parents. We got to realize that they parents validate them.
Right.
So it's all about generational.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm gonna just say
I
something
like
that
that.
my dad said before. He would take a confident woman over a pretty woman any day.
Oh,
He taught me
Confidence
that.
is going to be for the win. You know, because you can't do anything with an insecure person. I kind of feel like when you're insecure, it's like you're miserable because you're not happy in your skin,
give
and then
your
you're
full
making the
potential.
other person miserable.
You gotta be on
Because now it's like, are
eggshells
you
all
looking
the
at
time.
this woman? Are you doing this? Are you doing that?
And
So
why-
yeah, a lot of
yeah.
times you may see somebody and they may be with somebody that society may say is less attractive, but
Right.
they know who they are. So
Right.
for me, that's more important.
Right.
Yeah, why I gotta keep telling you every 5 minutes you pretty?
Right.
Or why I gotta hear
I
every
hate
5
that.
minutes you gotta tell me I'm handsome,
Right.
To make me feel some type
Yeah.
of way. Or why you
Right.
don't text me? Why you don't say that? No, it ain't her, it ain't him, baby girl. Buttercup is you.
Yeah.
It's you. You got
sound like
it's you.
Jerry. Jerry
You
say
know,
self-esteem.
it's- Yeah, it's called self-esteem. And I
Yes,
think Cat Williams
yes.
used to say when they stand up. It's just self-esteem. It's
Right.
you. It
I
ain't
keep
me,
having
it's
for
you.
you. You got to figure that out.
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah.
Man, it's like when you see I've dated someone in my past, and they wasn't the most attractive person, but man, they was confident.
Yeah.
And
go
they
a
made
long
sure when
way.
they did something, they did it, and they dressed and they had a mean walk.
Yeah.
And that when that person walk in the room, it's nothing like when you hear a confident woman and she walk in the room. She might be ugly, but I ain't mean to say ugly, but the way she carry herself is just that strong voice. When you hear her walk in the
Without
room,
saying
you like,
anything. That's right.
Who is that? You know, the tap of their heels when they walking through, you know
It's like that.
big,
It's like that.
you know,
whole-
it's just
like, and
it's
think-
that confidence, you know.
Right.
and with that confidence, bro.
It's
and when you
beautiful.
She's
It's
beautiful.
It's beautiful.
And like the Temptation said, beauty is only skin deep.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
It's beautiful.
That's
So
right.
it's like when you walk in, not only that, bro, an unattractive woman can walk in.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, like I said, she strut her stuff.
Yeah.
Man, if her spirit is right.
Oh man, and she got that confidence.
And it's spirit.
Oh my
What?
God, yeah.
We can sit down and talk all day. And
Man,
it
all
wouldn't
day.
even phase. I wouldn't like, cause I want to fall. And I told her, I want to fall in love with a woman from the inside.
Oh,
out.
come
'Cause
on.
you
That,
can be-
come
Yeah, I
on.
love that.
you can be beautiful with an ugly ass spirit.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, I gotta be truthful about it. I
Yeah.
gotta stand
Yeah.
on my.
And
I gotta
that's
stand on
that's
it.
where that validation
Exactly.
come from.
So it's like, man, if you beautiful in the out and you from the inside and you coming with it,
Yeah.
man, that can go
There you go.
a long way, a whole lot of long way than to be insecure.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like for women, we think that men worry about stuff that they don't even worry about.
Facts.
Women
To be
hard on
honest.
each other.
Like
than-
men
Yeah.
are not even thinking about half the stuff that we think that they're thinking about.
Yeah, they dressing. They get you know,
Right.
y'all compete with other women.
Like my double chin and all that. Like I joke, but it's just like, you know what? I have to learn to be comfortable.
Yeah, women compete with
me.
other women.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Most of the time.
that's true.
The guys,
Yeah.
Yeah, you see some of them be dressing like pirates. You be like, say, you ain't gotta do all that, baby. You could just.
Right.
That's why I never got the whole like capping on each other thing, you know, that guys do. Because I'm like, you literally out here trying to point out another man's flaws.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Right.
That's
I like
not,
that.
Yeah, that's not.
And
Wait a minute.
That's not.
I'm like, you just
That
get a
says
little
a
bit
lot.
too hard for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, that's
If
not
you're
bad.
straight, it makes
Yeah.
no sense
It
because
makes
at the end of the
no
day,
sense.
I don't worry about what other women have going on because I'm not into women. I'm not about to pick you apart or worry about if your titties is too long or
Right, like
orangutan titties.
why is she looking? Like,
You know, like just picking people apart or different things
I
like
hate
that.
that. I hate that.
That for me, I kind of feel like when people do that, they are trying to take the magnifying glass off of them. So
Yeah,
I try not to do that. Like one thing about me, I'm transparent, so I know that I need to heal in certain areas. I mean, that's
you keep
all
it
of
100.
us, but
You
we're
keep
not
it
going to
real.
get there by tearing somebody else down.
That's right.
We all do need, validation in different things. It's just that it's the way you go about it.
Right, because I don't want. I'm see how can I say this when you talk about how women break down other women. At the end of the day, now 10 times out of 10, when y'all break it down another woman, that stuff is bought.
But also, men do it too. Let's not just put it on the women because there's some men out here, like you said, doing it too.
But I want to ask
it's
y'all,
very
y'all,
much mixing and mingling with the
do y'all think
genders.
that men need more validation or women do?
I think I done seen some brothers that need more validation than women.
I feel the same.
I done seen that.
You think so?
I done seen that a lot.
Today, I'm put like
In this day and
society.
time, yeah.
Yes, back
Right.
then, we
I'm like,
It was
think
a-
so?
man, when I was young,
it's a great
when I was
mix.
kid,
I feel like
man,
it's a great mix right now.
Yeah, I feel like
think
it's a great
so?
mix too.
right. Well, yeah, now it is.
These, I don't know
It's-
what they call them,
I don't think men show
YNs.
it.
The
They don't show it,
YNs
but-
of today, it's called the young niggas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're called YNs now, and so they're
something
changing up everything.
The
You know,
YNs.
literally from what sex is, what is considered gay, what is considered straight.
Oh yeah.
Like everything is kind of mixed up now because now straight males are getting their fingernails painted.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
the
yeah,
ones
yeah, yeah.
that they want to be ate out.
But is that really straight?
Eat a
though?
nigga.
No, that's. I mean, it's. I don't know. It's not that. It's like I can't explain it, man. It's like not that
like
masculine.
Caleb Williams, the quarterback for the Chicago Bears, is being criticized for it's criticized for wearing fingernail polish and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
People crack on it, but he's literally playing one of the most violent physical sports that you can.
Right.
So, what is the aesthetic have to do with?
Yeah, he just care about his nails.
And-
You know.
You think?
But
And I hope I don't get in trouble
I
for
won't
this.
say he's
Go
not
ahead,
mad
go ahead.
For
I
caring
feel
about
like
his
football is one of the gayest sports out there.
Why?
That's
They wear
in
tights?
wrestling.
Well, that's your opinion.
Well,
So
you-
how
wait,
go?
wait,
What
wait,
you
no,
say now?
no,
Come on,
no,
let's
no.
go.
Because first of all, we are cheering in stands for a man to tackle another man as fast and as fearful as he can. Wrestling is even worse because now y'all got
Hold
these
on.
men.
Nah.
having-
You know, you know I'm coming for you. Right?
Let's
You
go.
know,
Let's go.
see, you gotta meet me. You got to know me. I'm coming for you, okay?
Can I say
Is
something
that-
really quick before y'all go in on each other?
Yeah, because I'm finna coming for him.
So,
Coming for him.
my dad would not let my little brother wrestle. He said his son is not rolling around in panties with another man.
Really?
For real.
Y'all, I don't look at it like
He wasn't
that.
allowed to praise dance in church.
It just makes it
Yeah,
worse
but
of
you
how
into
like
that thing.
detailed they
I think
got
people
into
are
it. Because
digging
then when
too
you
deep.
learn
Yeah,
that,
that's
you
like
know, most
battle, man.
wrestling,
That's like
you know, because like most wrestling now is only like basically storyline. Like none of it is real.
Right.
So and
It's
then
always been that way, though, right?
yeah, it's always been there.
and you know, like when you think about it, it's like, well, it's kind of strange because now you know everything is an act, like even down to the sweat that is really oil.
Wait,
So yeah, it's weird.
It's
like
always been there, but
Yeah.
but those
So now they out here doing
but we
it.
be out here
It's
talking
all
about the
about-
wrong thing.
But
Yeah.
it's still competing.
But it's
you know,
a good-
like
it's a
in a
good
man's
conversation
nature,
to have.
it's
I
competitive
like that, though.
competing.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
if you're a man, you like to compete. You know, football, you forcing a man against his will. You know, he's trying to get to the. No.
That sound.
Let me tell you. Let me say this.
Yeah.
You forcing another man against his will. You're not forcing him sexually against his will, but you trying to stop. Look, you stopping this man from getting to the next yard.
Right.
Yeah.
This is battle.
That's a
This is-
competitive
this
thing.
is competitive.
It's gladiator
This is no.
stuff.
You're not grabbing him
Yeah.
by his.
Yeah.
You're not grabbing him by
His booty.
his booty or his
Be like,
scene.
come here.
And where did the whole smack ass thing come from?
Well,
That came from basketball.
Good
that's
sportsmanship.
always
Yeah, that.
Yeah, but
look. But I'm gonna tell you, that's something else because the world is also full of trickery. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah,
also
very.
we also we live in a time now where it's a twilight zone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
And
got a point.
you know, there you know,
Yeah,
we live in a
facts.
time now where I'm not finna go for that because I know it ain't nothing about, you know, me about it like that, but I love football.
Right.
And I love sports, and I look
me
at it
too.
on the competitive level. Now,
Yeah.
somebody's out there playing a sport and they like that, or whatever they getting, whatever they twisted self getting out of
it
that.
might. Yeah, it just might.
That's
Yeah,
something else. But I know why.
Right.
I can't speak for every guy. I know why I like sports.
Right.
You got something to say?
Yeah, because I just had to say it because it's other things that could be discussed, but we never discuss the things
Oh,
that's
I like that.
blatant and
Yeah.
out,
Right.
and we normalize it
Yeah.
versus somebody that's expressing themselves through paint on their nails.
Right. But we're going to bring it
Yeah,
back.
I
We're going to
do
bring it
get
back to the
that.
actual
Yeah,
topic.
right. I like that. Yeah, that's another topic. Yeah, but you know what? I like how y'all opinions. It made a lot. It brought a lot.
Because when you talk, I
open
know
mind.
we got to move up, but when you talk about the football player, what's called it? He getting out there too for wearing I think a female perfume or something. What's this guy? The quarterback from
I like cologne sometimes.
Me too. I put on my
It's about
husband.
your body chemistry.
Yeah.
But I had to think about. I said, nah, I can't
Y'all
engage
better
in
grow
that because
up.
you got cologne and perfume that's
Unisex.
unisex. At the end of the day, why y'all pulling this man
Yeah,
like
like
that?
that.
Right.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
That's
Lamar
his name.
Yeah.
So he getting criticized, whatever for
like
that. But
that.
but that's a
that's-
whole nother
it's-
topic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's all in the
And
mind.
it's not to be offensive to anybody. Like, do you? Because somebody's going to like it or love it. You know what I'm saying? I might not
Exactly.
date a man with fingernail polish, but it's another woman that's okay with it.
Exactly.
So you just move along.
And it's like, and if you don't have that validation in yourself, you'll be sitting up saying, well, maybe I am.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe
That's
I
true.
am.
That's
Maybe
true.
the fact that you're doing that means that you're not seeking
Val-
validation.
Yeah, you know,
Right.
that's
So
what I-
shout
that's
out to
what I
them.
meant
So
to
shout
say.
out to them
Yeah.
for knowing
Yeah.
That doesn't
Right.
Or
Right.
even not only that, son, could it be the fact that they're doing that stuff because they crying out from the inside, but they don't know
Hey,
what to
we
say?
don't
It
know
could be
How
so
to
many things.
come out.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
Yeah,
Like, I know a lot of men, that that's crying
On the
from the inside, but they don't know how to communicate it.
Right.
So they either verbalize it the wrong way.
Yeah.
They do what
Right.
they want to do, whatever. Or they just go off and veer off or whatever to a whole nother section. It's like, man, hold on, man, maybe this guy needs some help or
He needs some
whatever
help.
the case may be.
Or
Yeah.
let me say this. Or they're looking for attention.
Right.
That's like women that may dress half naked most of the time. They didn't get validation, so now they're looking for it. So
Right.
okay, I didn't get any validation. I didn't get attention. I'm going to get it this way or that way.
Okay, let me ask you
You may
this.
not even be gay, but you might say, "I want attention. I want
Right.
more followers. I want people to pay attention. Let me paint my nails."
Right. So how much? So how much is too much of attention?
Depends on the person.
Because sometimes you can get attention, but you got the one that once they get it, they get arrogant with it, or they feel like, oh, I still need it. No, just stay right there, baby girl. Homeboy, just stay right here. You
Right.
good.
I feel like as soon as they start getting the wrong attention,
Exactly.
like
that
that.
feel,
That-
yeah.
that-
It feel makes them feel good.
and they start getting more wrong attention than good attention.
But some people
Yeah.
okay. I just watched a video with Cash Doll, and she basically said the guy was like, "How old are you?" She was like, "I'm not going to tell you because you're going to stop talking about me."
Right.
So he was like, "Well, we're talking bad about you or something like that. And she was like, I don't care if you're talking bad about me or good about me, as long as you talking about me.
Yeah.
So some people are okay with it. They don't care if it's negative attention
now that
or
comes with
positive.
Publicity. Publicity.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
publicity.
They in that
I need
lifestyle.
that. I need you to hate.
Right, but you still need a level of validation. I think to keep you going, because what it is like, okay.
Oh yeah, make sure
people-
I'm still relevant.
Yeah,
Make sure
right.
I'm
Yeah,
still
that's
memorable.
what it is.
That's like if people aren't validating you, then you'll say, okay, I need to move on to something different. This isn't pulling in what I needed it to pull in.
Yes.
Yeah, you got some people, man, end up in the, need help because they not getting that attention.
Right.
You know,
They
they
end
just
up killing themselves.
killing
or-
themselves.
Yeah.
You know, they're not
True.
They're not relevant anymore.
Right.
They go into this. I haven't seen people. They not relevant anymore. They not relevant anymore.
Right.
They go off into this depression. Like they gotta be. Always need someone. Look, seeing what they doing, watching.
Especially when they don't heal from that from childhood.
I think a lot of you have to
At the
heal.
end of the day, yes.
It's the Social Drinkers Podcast.